My name's Caroline Poynton from Manchester Bury. I'm going to say, mate, I was just watching Talk TV there at the bottom, and she's going on and on. They're going on and on and on, Talk TV. But one thing I've not heard them saying yet is a fucking orangutan that's been let out of its cage, right? I don't give a fuck. He's not a fucking Sikh. He don't look like a Muslim to me. He looks like he's fucking African. Trying to tell us now, don't speculate of where he's from or whatever. To me, I can quite clearly see it looks like one of them orangutan gone fucking wrong. Someone's let it out of its cage. So, we're gonna have to put him back in his cage and deportation. Well, there's jails in fucking Uganda in Africa, you know. So please, you know, we've paid all that money for Uganda. Do they think they can send this one back? This orangutan back now? The one from Belfast. And we don't want him deporting to England, thanks. We want him deporting back to fucking Somalia or Somalia, probably. He looks like a bit of a Somalian, actually. Bit Somalian, this other guy. Not him, the one from Belfast. He does look a bit Somalian. So can we deport him back to Somalia? Or Afghan, or wherever the fuck I came from? Because he ain't staying in this country. No excuse. He's not staying in Ireland either. And Talk TV before trying to make out islands on the other side of the world. Like Ireland doesn't belong to us. Ireland. They're trying to make out that Ireland doesn't belong to us now. Oh. Cheeky bastards. Cheeky, I'm sick of it. No, I'll Talk TV ain't going to mention it. We want deportation of him.
And here we are again. Of course we are. It's a day ending with Y in the Western civilised world.
One in Manchester
we
that's
wake
just
up to the horrific news of a man in the middle of the street in Belfast
chopped off
after being stabbed multiple times in the face and neck. Then the attacker, apparently a Sudanese migrant, but that's not confirmed, so...
Yeah, we know it, mate. It's a fucking migrant came off the boat this time.
The man's head off
seeking that this
with
time,
a small
so they've got no excuse.
The absolute state
I'm going
of
to say, mate, we've got no excuse. He's got no family, he's not linked to it, he's not born here.
Because
there's no human rights, he's done that crime, fucking deported.
You are the two-tier government. You use the indigenous white man
mate. We've got a terrorist organisation.
And I mean fund their own annihilation.
Yeah, they're funding terrorists.
You will work the British white person to the absolute bone.
Our country have been paying for terrorists.
Little pot with
to create terrorist groups and organisations.
Those who wish us harm.
To harm Israel, to harm England, the West, to harm America, to harm Russia. England have got funds for.
God knows what. Is it foreign aid? Should we call it foreign aid? Because apparently this money is going to ISIS and
this is what I've just said, mate. I've been saying it for a long time.
£28 million.
For a long time, so they can create terrorists.
Our armed forces. Our armed forces are a skeleton crew. We have no equipment. We have no defence.
We don't have any proper police.
Sure.
They're all woke. They're all gay or something.
Of £28 billion. Why not do it?
I'll do a better job than the police officers myself.
That we seen from Belfast this morning. Now, this, I believe, happened last night at about 10:30 at night. And
because I'm not woke.
Oh.
I'm fucking stupid.
I am so tired of it.
Daft.
I really am.
I am, mate.
This has gone beyond clown world. You know, a clown world would insinuate there's some entertainment to be had.
We've seen the Free Girls. We've seen it. We've just seen
it. But there's no entertainment here. There isn't. This isn't a clown world.
No, it's not, mate. I tell you.
It's a psychotic hellscape.
We need to wake up. I'm asking the Irish as well, because I think the English, we're too fucking soft. We're too fucking softy bastard English. I don't know what's happened to us, because we never used to be this soft. My granddad would say this. All my great granddads are all saying to like my cousins and me and my sister, we're too fucking soft. We've been brought up to be too fucking nice, too polite. And no more of this politeness, right? I'm not going to advocate for any violence. This guy's going to be deported. There's no excuse. They need to deport the bastard. Well, we need to say it now, because at the end of the day, it's illegal. No, we come off one of them fucking boats. Don't give a fuck. He's got no family here. He wasn't born here. He's not a Sikh. He's not a Muslim. So therefore, I don't think he's in that much of the bracket of the protection bracket. You know, the paid for protection bracket. I'm sorry. He's one of them that they've trained to be a terrorist. The knife attackers. Great. But what they want to do, jihads, everybody go and search it, is they want to basically roam from Greece. Turkey's gone, Greece has gone, Spain's gone, Italy's gone, France has gone, Brussels has gone, Germany's gone, Finland's gone, Sweden's gone, England's now gone. I think there's only fucking Russia left, and if this carries on, I'm going fucking Russia. I'm on fucking Vladimir Putin's side. Fuck it, that's tell you, if I'm going to be safer in Russia, living just under a bit of a dictatorship from Russia, I don't give a fuck. I'd rather do that. I'd rather go and live under Russia. I'd rather go to Japan. I'd rather live in fucking China at this rate. I'd rather live in Pakistan at this fucking rate. I'm safer in Pakistan. No word of a lie. And at least if something did happen, their governments have proper punishments for somebody that does do something. I think especially to a holiday maker or somebody that's, you know, people that are going on paying a holiday there or something like that. The Pakistan, their government, they've got their crimes, you know. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best place. I'm not saying it's whatever. But at least they give the people punishment for when they do horrific crimes. Or when they find out, when they do it. I mean, I don't know about all the marrying kids or anything over there, but as far as I know, for raping people, women or whatever it is, I don't know how they discuss that from one part to another length, but for certain things, it's a death penalty over there, and I fucking agree. No, we do need the death penalty back for this stuff as well. There's only one way we're going to solve this murdering with knives, is the death penalty. I mean, it's not going to solve it all, but I tell you now, that person in Southport, if he had the death penalty, this would be carrying on like this. I mean, there might be one or two things. One every, I mean, in Manchester, probably one every 6 months. A major crime every, but years ago, it used to be like that. And now I can hear the police again. I've not even slept properly because all I've heard is the police all night. Nina, Nina, helicopter. Nina, Nina.
It really is psychotic hell's.
And I'll tell you, they want to cut the Pope's head off by, that's what I was going to say. Jihads, whoever they are, these terrorists they've created, want to cut the Pope's head off. When they get to do that, we're finished. So I suggest, my plan, because this ain't going to stop, King Charles. Nobody wants to talk about him and hold him responsible. Because he's responsible. He's not lying anymore.
And it's every day. Just before I decided to make this video, I came across a news report of the Co-op Academy School in Manchester had to be put on lockdown due to 3 people being stabbed on the premises.
I know it's a girl, but
I don't know if these are faculty members or students. This was just something I quickly heard before I made this video.
I don't know what type of school is it. Is it an actual school?
On that.
Or is it a Muslim school? Is it a
this is
Jewish
what we have.
school?
It's an everyday occurrence.
Jewish schools, we've got the English school. Well, we don't get many English schools.
In England, Scotland, Wales,
Ireland. Hang on, here goes for schools. I'm saying, I'm not being funny, but it's not safe. It's not safe. The kids are being taught, I do fucking wokey shit. Completely. Badly. Right? High schools especially. It's not safe for teenagers in schools. Close them down. Keep the teenagers at home. Do home teaching. They can get it all on computers and laptops. They can even have a private property, face-to-face private proper tutor. Well, that's what the government should pay for. Tutors, teachers to be able to go around to people's homes. Probably once a week for an hour to teach, mark the homework and give them, set the homework, set what work they've got to do. Have a chat with them if they're struggling with anything. Just things, something like that. And from 13, 14, parents don't have to worry as much because we have got technology, lucky enough, that they can fit camera in so you can see what your kids are doing if you have to go to work. Because from 13, you kind of, well, we used to look after, we used to get left a couple of hours. You know, my mum had to go out shopping and do things, you know, and do work or whatever, go to work and earn money. She couldn't do both of all of us because, you know, like times when I'd be ill or we'd be ill and then, you know. So from about the age of 13, my mum used to leave us for a couple of hours, don't do shopping, you know, and stuff.
Northern Ireland, even France, Germany,
Yeah,
Italy,
gone.
Spain.
Yeah, you've just said
I
it's
don't know
gone.
what to say.
It's all gone,
I
mate.
really don't.
We can't go on
When
holiday,
we
it's
think
gone.
back to justice, we can call the two-tier justice system or whatever you want, but all
Sorted
this
here.
is allowed and
Something
facilitated
else.
by our very own governments. You know,
And King.
there's a
The
coordinated
King.
attack on us.
Yeah, it's the King
It's
of
as
Rome.
simple
Don't
as
forget
that.
about him.
Now look
We
at the
have to
Henry
deal with
Novak
it.
protest that went on in
We have to deal
Southampton,
with it.
which I
He's
do
been
have
locked
to
up now.
apologise, guys. I really do. I put out a video, I think it was last week, stating my discontent of the protest moving to a residential area. Now, I do completely retract that statement because I did. All right. Because I was not aware that that street was virtually the same street as a police station was on,
Oh, right.
which I'm assuming is the one that dealt with the case.
Yeah, because
So
I
I
wasn't there. They
completely
didn't show it
retract
like
that. I
that. They
apologise.
didn't show it like that, you see.
But
But on the
when
other
are we
hand,
going to
I
raise the
am
curtain?
saying
When
to
are
people,
people going to
don't go out.
realise that unless we
Don't
do
go
something
doing
about
that.
this,
I'm
every
gonna
single
say-
person is in danger?
Yeah, we are. We are all in danger, mate. And I don't want anybody go doing anything. Like to any Sikhs, any Muslims, any black people. We don't need to go rioting in the streets to the police. There's just no point. Because it's just going to get things worse. That's not going to do anything. Because it's being done. Yeah, look how many protests and riots we've had. It's all been done. It's all not worked. It's all failing. Just like they're failing. So now we have to come up with another one. The biggest one. Because this is just as scary as now what's going on here. We're all in danger. We're all going to be in more danger. If jihads, these terrorists, whoever they are, jihads, I don't fucking know, but whatever these people have created by paying for it all, if they manage to get hold of the Pope and chop his head off in Italy and turn Rome into a bloodbath, then we are all fucked. Seriously, seriously, seriously. I mean, if we think it's Baba Keir Starmer now, if they do that, we are fucked. And all them people are on the way to Britain as well, so we are fucked. If we don't sort this out properly, then nothing's going to get changed. Now, I have one way. They want to cut the Pope's head off, chop the Pope's head off. Now, I'm not advocating for violence. This is not violent. This is political. It can be done. It is allowed to be done. Because as long as he's in the Bible and he's a murderer, treason. He's treason the country. Then it can be done. It's been done before. We're basically going off the law of the land of the law, and the Bible, the 10 Commandments, which all them things what he's done is death. And for the death, he is poltergeist. He's the devil. The only way we're going to get rid of the devil is we have to execute the devil. We have to execute the devil. And that's where we get rid of the devil. Now, the devil is King fucking Charles. He's the one elephant in the background why nobody's talking about. Start talking about King Charles. Start talking about King Charles. Start getting it out about him changing his religion. Start telling about Princess Diana. We'll go back for, and probably need to go back through all of that because there's cover-ups everywhere with him. We need to get into Buckingham Palace. I'm sorry. He's involved. King Charles told us not to criticise the Islam extremists and the fringes and the weird fringes and we own the culture debt, this, that and the other. He's the one that opened the Oxford Islamic Centre for terrorists. He's the one that's involved with Tony fucking Blair. He's the one telling Ed Miliband about net zero. He was the one that was telling Sunak and Keir Starmer about the illegal immigrants going to Uganda, concerned about their human rights of them, but not concerned about our human rights. King Charles is meant to be the king of the faith. He's meant to be the Lord of the house. He's meant to be bringing Jesus out into all of us, the goodness out into all of us in the Church of England. He can't come out and say a fucking prayer for Henry. But yet, he could go to a wedding, he could say a prayer, or condone, he didn't say a prayer, but condolences to the people that lost their lives on the helicopter crash, which was the other day. And yet he can't come to the Church of England and say a prayer for Henry. Because he's the devil, he's poltergeist, he's changed his religion. They created Hitler, they created Jack the Ripper, Epstein, Jimmy Savile. Do not think the royal family have been our friends all this time. They are the enemies too, with the government. They're not English. They belong to Gotha, Germany, and he belongs to Greece. So Hitler's not very happy after them traitoring Hitler in. Hitler's definitely not happy with King Charles. He hates him because he changed his religion to Islam and also traited Hitler in. Well, that's why he had to change his religion. King Charles to advocate to kill Christians and the Jews. Yep, he's evil, he's poltergeist. And when we're going to do this, we're getting into Buckingham Palace, we're getting King Charles out, he's going to Scarborough Castle, and he's having his head chopped off. King Charles, we need to chop King Charles' head off before they get and chop the Pope's head off. And we need to mean business. It's not advocating for violence. It's not against the law. It is advocating for exactly what the Bible says, the 10 Commandments. And that is exactly
is
the
in
law.
danger. You know, I mean, this Manchester school, I'm going to have to look into that because as a parent, I am this close to pulling my children out of school.
I've just said take your children out of school. Your children don't need to be in school. Not high schools. Don't send your kids to high schools. Definitely not. Anybody that's sending toddlers or anywhere, stay with your toddlers. Don't let your toddlers on their own. In fact, anybody that's got children going to primary school, go with them, stay with them. This is why they've got rid of parents not being allowed in classes, because I thought this the other week. I remember going with my boys and they always used to want the parents to stay along. And years ago, we used to go swimming and all sorts of things with school, day out trips and all sorts of things. They don't need to be in school. They're not being taught the actual curriculum. They're not being taught education. They're not being taught how to read properly and how to write properly and how to clean the homes and how to cook and clean and look after a family. It's not just about writing on a piece of paper. Things are about the actual work of being a family man, being a man to go to work, a woman at home, cooking, cleaning. And a lot of women don't know how to cook and clean anymore and don't know how to do them sort of things. Never mind men. Fucking only some women that can't cook a fucking packet of noodles or something.
I've spoke to a lot of parents who are reluctant to let their children out.
Don't.
Even at 14, 15, 16-year-olds,
20.
although that may seem a little excessive.
But no, it's not
I find
excessive.
myself sort of agreeing.
No, it's not
I
excessive.
really do.
No, it's not.
Because
it's not until we get
this whole country is
King
unsafe.
Charles
This
stuff.
whole country has been weaponised against its own people.
Yeah, because the King
Not
Charles,
just the
mate,
legal
what about
system.
the King?
Not just
He's the king of the country.
these institutions, these civil servants,
wetland. He's a coward. He's a devil.
everything is weaponised against us. We are literally just
And
the
it's been
funding
happening for
monkeys.
years.
That's all they
It's
see
been
us
happening
as.
for years, but we've
The
not been able to
funding
see it.
monkeys.
We've only
Because
just been seeing it
they
after
know
COVID.
without us, they cannot keep this country going. They cannot feed their
I
pets.
suggest the police officers, teachers, all the English
And
people. I'm not being
literally
horrible.
that's
We have
just
to
what
give
we
up our
are.
jobs. I have to give up. I'm not going to work.
And
I am not going to any
like I
job to
said,
get a
it's
tram
off the key
bus.
now.
I
It's
am not even going to be walking there. I'm sorry. I'm not lazy.
It's justified anger. That's what I feel.
Mine's
you know,
because of other things as well. My
because
little girl,
if I don't
she's
feel
been
justified
falsely
anger,
wrongly adopted. I'm
then
so scared.
it turns into a hotbed of depression.
I'm
and
scared for my own
complete
life going
nihilism.
outside
And
the door.
I'm not going down that road. You know, I'm not going to give up and
David's
just
still
let
scared of me,
whatever
Arnold.
happens to this country happen. Like so many others bury their head in the sand and
No,
think,
I'm
you know
not.
what? Not my problem.
I'm not going to
'cause
bury my
these
head in the
think
sand.
it
This
is our
needs to
problem.
get done. I'm going to keep
Each and
talking
every
about
one of us,
chopping
it's
King
our
Charles's
problem.
head
Let
off
me know in the
until
comments.
people get the
Are
message.
you two as fed up and as angry as I am?
Yes.
And
we don't have to
what
take
do you
it
think
out
can
and
be
angry in
done?
every
Now,
other way. Like
I would
rioting and
say
stuff. There's
I
no
don't
point in
advocate
riots.
for violence, and I don't.
I don't advocate for that.
But
I advocate
I
for the
have to
right
admit,
thing politically
what I see with my eyes,
by
what I
chopping
feel
King
with my
Charles's head
being,
off.
is that's where
And
this
I'm
country
sorry
is heading.
if people think
It's
that's
the only logical conclusion.
I'm pretty radical, pretty.
The powers that be know this. That's why they
But
keep
the powers
pushing.
know it.
And I've said before, when something goes wrong, it's just more and more and more. And when your own government come out and will not even acknowledge your pain, your hardship, your anger,
I bet he
that
don't
just
get
tells
deported.
you they are pushing you
I
into
bet
violence.
he don't get deported.
Now, I hope, and I really do
I hope
hope
the Irish come and
we
help
can
us. We need
avoid
help.
the avenue of violence.
Yeah, I hope
But
the
I
Irish
also
don't.
have to
The
acknowledge
Irish are very
they are
bad for
not
that.
leaving us much wiggle room at all.
Yeah, I know, but don't. No one get violent.
They
No need.
are literally
No need.
inciting
No need.
violence.
No. This ain't
That's
violent.
what the
What we're going to
establishment
be
is
doing. This
doing.
is basically
It is
we need
inciting
millions
the
of people.
violence.
I need to go as well, and we need to
Every
get to Buckingham
concern
Palace.
they condemn.
Get into Buckingham
Every
Palace. We're
British
going to
person
ram
who is
raid
angry
Buckingham
with
Palace,
what's happened in their
basically. I'm
country,
sorry.
they imprison.
We are ram raiding Buckingham Palace.
Every single person that
And
is
we are
not
getting
heard
King
is a
Charles out, and we're
direct
chopping his
incitement
head
of
off.
violence. This is what our establishments are doing to us.
And that's not violent. That's correct.
And it has to stop.
It's in the Bible. It's exactly what the law of the land says. For kings that treason their country and sin the Bible, we have to say death. And there is no more getting away with it. Because who's holding the king to responsible? Who's holding anybody responsible for anything?
This morning, many people have awoken to the very distressing news of this brutal attack. And my first thoughts and that of my colleagues are with the victim and his family. Detectives and specialist officers are supporting them at this very difficult time.
Tiny, that street.
The man, who is aged in his 40s, was seriously injured in this knife attack.
Why is he smiling?
And it's important to acknowledge at the very outset the bravery of those members of the public who ran towards danger to intervene and help the injured man. Our position is to provide as much verified information to the public as possible as our investigation continues.
Mary
This is what we
Poynton's
know so
angry.
far.
She were partly, but
The
they
incident
went
happened
to
in the Kennard area, Kennard Avenue area.
I have got
Monday,
some
the
family,
8th
I
of
reckon,
June
now in
at
Ireland.
around 10:30 p.m.
I think it's Mary
Officers
Poynton's.
arrived at the scene within minutes of the report to detain and arrest the suspect and to administer first aid.
I think that's my
Colleagues from Northern
grandmother.
Ireland Ambulance Service attended a short time later.
They are from
The victim was
Yorkshire.
taken to hospital with significant injuries to his eyes and serious slash wound
But
injuries
I
to his
think
back
they
and
went
face.
to Ireland.
The suspect, a man in his 30s, who we now understand to be Sudanese, was arrested at the scene on suspicion of attempted murder.
Mary
He
and
is in
Thomas
custody.
Poynton.
And at this time we are not seeking anyone else in connection with the investigation.
And then he
And what
went
is
to New
believed to
Zealand.
be a kitchen
First
knife
Catholic.
was recovered at the scene.
New Zealand settled.
I share the public's revulsion over the brutal nature of this attack, which
I'm not
created
Irish, but they're
concern
part of
not only
England,
here
they're
in
part of
Northern
Britain.
Ireland but much further.
On
afield.
GB News, they were trying to tell us
I
like it was on
understand
the other side
also
of the
that there
fucking
will be
world, like
questions
Ireland don't
regarding
belong
the
to us.
nature of the attack.
I'm like, it's all
Throughout
Ireland
today, we've
belongs
been
to us,
liaising
what
with
are you
senior
talking about?
counter-terrorism partners.
Or talk TV.
At this stage, we have no information to suggest that this was a terrorist-related incident. However, I must stress, we are still at the early stages of our
Well, it's
investigation.
not terrorists, mate.
This
But it all
brutal
links
attack
up to
has sent
terrorists now,
shockwaves
bullshit
through
for all
our
these
communities.
names.
And I want to reassure all of
And
our
what are you gonna do? You're
communities
gonna
your
deport him?
safety is our priority.
Alright, so
And
deport
we're
him
currently
then.
engaging with local representatives and residents to provide reassurance
No
and
need to be no
support.
court case, no
That is
nothing.
why today the public can
You can
expect
get
to
a
see an increased
24-hour
police presence
judge,
across Northern
keep
Ireland
him
this
in
evening
holding cells
and in the
and
coming days to
deport
help support,
to
reassure
Yolanda. to
and
the
keep
jail
all
in
of our
Uganda.
communities safe.
There's plenty of jails in Uganda, I assume.
We understand that there's considerable posting on
I'm
social
sure they
media,
can find one
and
place
people
for him.
have real questions and real concerns.
Or in
But we ask
Pakistan
the
or
public
wherever.
to be
Don't
very
care, there's
mindful
jails
of
all
what
over
they
the
share
fucking
online.
world. There's actually one
By
that's
sharing
proper jail.
footage, this could
Not like
risk
ones
causing
here.
further trauma to the injured man's
So
loved
at least
ones
let's take that
and may
one out.
impact
Well,
upon
there's
the
one out,
ongoing
isn't it?
investigation. So I
One
would
bag,
urge
so just
caution
at least.
and ask that people
Well,
do
it's
not
a
share
start.
videos and images that they
It's
may
only
have
one.
seen circulating.
And there's about 100 million
We're
more that
also
we've
aware
video for
of
created,
calls this evening for protest activity
But hey,
across Northern Ireland
one's a start.
and continue to monitor that situation.
No, you don't need to
accordingly.
monitor anything
I
if it's
understand
not a
that last
terrorist
night's temper
organisation
will
or a
leave
terrorist
people feeling
attack.
a range of emotions from
What you
fear
need to do
to
is
anger.
you need to deport.
Our officers have a role to facilitate
No,
and
they have a
accommodate peaceful
role to
protest.
fucking
anti-wantage,
anti-Wantage, anti-Irish, anti-English, anti-fucking Scottish, anti-Welsh, anti-fucking Israel, anti-American, anti-Australia, anti-French, anti-German, anti-Western. Well, I'm anti-fucking King Charles.
In response to this,
I can't stand that cunt and he needs his head chopping off because he is a devil. He is poltergeist.
One individual arrested going through that process. And
Arrested go through that process. What process?
Work.
Shut up. What is going on here? Why are you not saying we are going to be deporting him? There'll be no more because he's going to be death penalty for him or deportation. Put him to sleep or deport the fucking cunt. Sick of hearing him.
The social contract between government and individuals like you and I is very simple. We exchange a tiny bit of our liberty, we follow rules, and in return the government keeps us safe, healthy and prosperous. Now the British government is failing on all three, and I don't think civil order will survive the footage that we all woke up seeing last night.
King Charles's head, it needs to be chopped off.
Of an African man.
Cause we're not putting up with this anymore.
From either my channel, the mainstream media or other YouTube channels, there was a horrific attack in Belfast last night. And there has been some more information released which we're going to cover in this video. And Rupert Lowe, the leader of Restore Britain, has also made quite a few announcements on the issue. So before we get into Rupert Lowe's response, which I think is a really good response, we're just going to cover and update you
let's see what they're going to say about Rupert Lowe after Nigel Farage.
The incident now. So first of all, it was believed that the man who attacked this victim, who it was being announced that he was a 15-year-old, but from the information I can gather, it was a 40-year-old man or a man in his 40s who was attacked. And it has now come out that a Sudanese man has been arrested following a suspected knife attack in Belfast that left the local community shocked and deeply concerned.
Why? Because he can't say he's fucking Irish.
If it
was in Britain, they just say
British. The police service of Northern Ireland has since confirmed that injured man is in hospital with this condition having been described as serious. The force has also clarified that although it was first thought that a man was Somali in origin, he is in fact Sudanese.
Don't your foot now,
so it's looking like,
good.
I don't know whether he's an illegal immigrant, or whether he was there or claiming asylum,
claiming asylum,
visa,
well, that's gone now.
He is some sort of foreign national.
He does not born in Ireland or Britain.
Quickly, and they were there within minutes. But as we know, this shouldn't have happened. Obviously, for obvious reasons, we're not going to show the footage on this, but I've seen it. It's horrific, and it was great to see locals jump in and not just film the incident. And it looks like those individuals who had the courage to jump in saved this man's life. So honestly, hats off to them, and that's the type of people we want in this country.
Well, yeah, because they belong to their own country, mate. Ireland.
So before you see
obviously they're Irish. They belong to their own country.
Originally put this out.
But anybody in a different area, mate,
following the attempted beheading of the Restore Britain government, would end all immigration from Somalia, review all existing visas, and deport all Somalians who should not be in Britain.
Yep.
He then announced this. I want to know exactly what that Somalian scumbag is doing in that country. How did he arrive?
We've got that. We've got
is he
this
working on benefits,
we do
living
not
in
need
social
these
housing,
as
and
well.
migrant hotel,
I'm
criminal
sorry.
record? Who authorised it? Demand answers. I am in Parliament doing that. He's most probably the only politician who's in Parliament doing that.
And I want Rupert though, please advocate to deport
the man is
him.
Sudanese,
Please.
not Somalian, as they first published.
We don't need to say violent to be angry. We are angry.
Both Sudan and Somalia.
But it's like saying
review
all
all existing
getting
visas
angry.
and deport all Sudanese
Not gonna make
Somali
anything
migrants who
better.
should not be in Britain.
Good.
Before we
Get
see
them
clear,
deported.
so he will deport all Sudanese and Somalians.
No, we want him that
who
one
should not be in
deporting
Britain.
now.
But he'd also ban them from coming to the UK.
Okay, good.
We do deport Sudanese and Somalians, but we don't deport fast enough.
Well, we should do
We're
now.
quite
We've got to
slow
give
at
it. You're going to
deporting
be
due
going to have to
to
deport him.
basically human rights.
I don't give a fuck
and
about human
lawyers
rights.
and
You
judges
got none. It's
basically
just about to take
involved.
someone's head off.
You
It's
don't
about
just
to
say,
murder
"Oh,
someone. You get no
off
human
you go."
rights doing
They
that.
can fight it, and
You
they
get no
do fight
human
it.
rights where you're going to murder
But
someone.
this is
Or if you've murdered
Rupert
somebody.
response on the
In the
incident,
Bible, it's death.
because
You
we've
get
had
no
the
human
Novak,
rights, no
we've had the
such thing.
Southport murders, we've had the Nottingham attacks, we've had so many, and people are demanding answers now,
People
and
get human
Rupert
rights
is one of them
until
that's
the
demanding
minute.
answers.
No, they
So
get
let's have a
human
look at
rights
his response
until the
and see
minute
what
they
he's
go to
got
kill
say,
someone,
and do let us
and
know
chop
in
someone's
the
head off, and
comment
murder
section
someone,
what you
stab
think of him
someone.
basically
Your human rights
deporting
go.
all Somalians
You get no
and
human rights
Sudanese
then.
and basically banning them from entering the country,
You
and
get
what your
no
thoughts
human rights from
are
that.
on this video.
Good morning, everybody.
Anybody
I've
that
just
commits a
watched
brutal
the
crime like
most
that,
horrific
you do
footage
not get human
from
rights.
Northern Ireland, from Belfast, of one man
don't get to say.
on top of another with a knife.
You don't get to say, and
Obviously,
you don't get to
screaming,
stay.
shouting. Some patriots effectively attempted to intervene. I
Whatever
don't know what has
colour
happened
they
to
are.
the victim, but it didn't look good.
Or
I
whatever
now
they
call
believe in.
for the
or
police
don't believe in.
with full transparency to disclose the ethnicity and immigration status of the person who perpetrated the attack. This is a
I say
disappointingly growing trend which is affecting all of us. It
But
stems
it's
from
even though you say
immigration,
deport it.
largely.
Yeah, but I
It
mean,
stems from the
obviously
fact
we need to
that
deport
there's a
the
whole
ones as
industry
well.
of people who have
But
made
at least
vast amounts of money
this is a start.
propagating an
We
industry
say, well,
called the
where do we
human rights
start?
industry,
Where
which
does it
basically
begin?
has
How
fed
does it begin?
off
How?
the back of the legal
So this one
complexities
is no
surrounding
excuse.
human rights
This is
law.
the first start for one.
Those are people like Keir Starmer, Lord Hermer, a whole raft of people who I think put their own interests above those of the safety of the British people. And it's time we got some honesty from the police force, who are paid for the British taxpayer, paid for by the British taxpayer. They're supposed to serve the British taxpayer, and they're supposed to keep us all safe. We can quite clearly see with the recent tragic death of Henry Novak, we can see two-tier policing. And now I think I call for total transparency. If you have transparency, you have truth, and from truth you can actually start to deal with the issues that are causing the problem. Until we have that, I'm afraid we are going to continue to all of us suffer from increasing distrust, an increasing feeling of a lack of safety, and that is not going to be good for all of us. We want our high trust society back, and we're not going to get it back by people being deceitful. We need honesty, we need truth, we need authenticity, and we need openness. Good morning, everybody.
Exactly. We need to understand what's going on. And to be honest, if people understand what's going on, why it happened, and they're actually going to do something about it, then you will still see outrage. You may not see violence on the streets. If they feel like they're doing something about it, but people don't feel like they're doing something about it, and they always feel that something is being hidden from them. Like they're trying to hide information because they know they've messed up. And Rupert Lowe is saying, we won't do that. We will be brutally honest with you, and we will be transparent. People understand what's going on, why it's going on, and what you're doing about it, then they have more trust in you. The issue within the UK at the minute is there is no trust. And people like Keir Starmer, Lord Hermer, and others, they have made money off human rights cases. Yes, sometimes you do need a human rights lawyer, but we've seen it with the way our veterans were attacked during the Iraq War and previously. that they just do it to make money, even off false allegations. And it's these human rights laws and policies that are making it harder to basically be tougher on crime, to be tougher on illegals, and make it harder to deport people that aren't meant to be in the country. Some people have a right to claim asylum, but the majority don't. And the reason we need to basically sort the UK out, because I'm not going to say there's not crime, there's not horrific incidents, there's not horrific attacks that aren't committed by British people, because they are. We need to end that, but we also need to end this. We've got an issue with cost of living, we've got an economy issue, we've got a housing crisis, we've got a public services crisis, especially within our NHS. We can't even sustain the growth of our own population, let alone with uncontrolled migration, illegal migration. Anyway, that's Rupert Lowe's response. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that, so please do comment below. Like I said, hats off to those guys that stepped in. Well done to you. This guy's got serious life-changing injuries. I hope he makes a full recovery, but I think even if he does, mentally it's going to be extremely hard to go through something like that and then be reminded by what I believe will be permanent scars over his face and neck that he's going to see daily. It's going to be a massive struggle. And to watch the video and hear the screams, absolutely horrifying. Horrifying that this has happened. Hope the full force comes down on this guy. Anyway, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Thank you to all of you that have viewed, liked, shared, subscribed, and turn notifications bell. And if you could hype the video, help get this content out there, I'd hugely appreciate it. And a big shout out to all of our channel members. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Last night's attack in North Belfast was horrifying, appalling and deeply disturbing. This was a brutal act of violence that will have sent shockwaves through the local community and caused huge concern across the city, Northern Ireland and the whole of the United Kingdom. My thoughts, and I'm sure those of the whole of the House, are with the victim whose condition has been described as serious. I also want to pay tribute to the PSNI and members of the public who displayed remarkable courage in stepping in to confront the attacker before the police arrived. The police service of Northern Ireland must be given the time and space to carry out a full and thorough investigation, and those responsible must face the full force of the law. However, given the understandable public concerns surrounding the incident, it's vital that the facts are established and we have the transparency that people deserve. Can the Secretary of State confirm the immigration status of the attacker? If, as is reported, the attacker is a foreign national, what steps will the Home Office take? Is it that it is urgent the facts are put on the public record to avoid speculation and prevent an information vacuum which the Independent Review of Terror legislation has warned about? If there has been failings on our borders, this is yet another reminder that we do need stronger borders, and this is why we believe it is time to leave the ECHR. I encourage all who have evidence of the attack to come forward and support the PSNI in its investigation. I join the Secretary of State and all communities in condemning this horrific attack.
Secretary of State. Well, I am grateful to the Honourable Gentleman for his comments and for the tone in which he expressed them, because it is, I think, very important that we act responsibly in these circumstances. I agree, as I've already indicated, that information should be made available to the public. The proper procedure in answering his very specific question is for the PSNI to be in contact with the Home Office, which I know they have been doing, in order to establish the facts around the individual. And I would anticipate, as I say, it's proper that the police provide that, as they are leading the investigation, and I anticipate that more information will be made available shortly by the PSNI is the right and proper approach. I would have to say, however, I do not agree with what he said about the European Convention of Human Rights. It's very important. We have it because it protects the liberty of all of us.
Jim Shum.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I, first of all, thank the Secretary of State for his well-chosen words. wise words as well, and for his answers. Tensions are inflamed, and at this moment I'm aware of planned protests throughout my constituency of Strangford, and I'm also aware that many of those who intend to attend do so not because they are frightened for their family alone, but instead feel their fears are ignored when they make a good and grand statement. So how can the Secretary of State and this government ensure that people from Portavogie to Newton Ards know that their right to peacefully protest is respected, but more than this, that their government, my government, will make changes for safety reasons as a matter of urgency? Thank you so much.
Well, I join with the honourable member in reasserting the right of every citizen of our country to protest peacefully. But we have seen in the past that there are those provoked by others who sought to use that opportunity to then promote violence and disorder. And I join with him in saying peaceful protest, of course, everyone has the right to express their view. But in the end, if we want to support the PSNI, the last thing people should be doing is stretching their resources across Northern Ireland to deal with protests that aren't going to help anyone and are not going to assist in the furtherance of this investigation, so the perpetrator can be brought to face justice. That is the way we do things in our country, is it?
Jim Alice.
Mr. Speaker, we are all shocked by the sheer savagery of this attack, and indeed the only bright spot in this orgy of violence was the brave intervention of local citizens whose courage we salute. But what I want to know, and what I know my constituents want to hear, is what will be done to stop the importation of an alien culture that thinks it's appropriate to try and behead someone within the United Kingdom. And on the immigration status of this person, did they hold a visa before they came to the United Kingdom? Did they obtain a visa having come illegally to the United Kingdom? I think we're entitled to know. And I do say to the Secretary of State, this House should be getting its information from the Secretary of State, not from the press conference of a Chief Constable. And I think the House is entitled to know, because it's truth and transparency, which is the greatest antidote to rising tension. So can we have the answers?
So State.
Well, I would say, I'm sorry that the honourable gentleman used the word alien culture, because what exactly is he referring to? What the British people have had enough of, are anyone from wherever they come, whatever their background, who seeks to commit violence on citizens of the United Kingdom. That is what we together are strongly opposed to. There is a proper procedure that needs to be followed in relation to the release of information. It is a live investigation. I think it is right and proper that the police lead on that, and that is why it is the police who have been in touch with the Home Office and will provide further information. And as soon as I am also able to update the House, I will do so. I am also in favour of as much information as possible being provided once process has been followed to make sure that it can be confirmed.
Julian Lewis.
Whilst I agree with virtually everything the Secretary of State said in his opening response, I really am baffled by his refusal to share with the House a piece of simple information. Did this person come legally into this country and has a 5-year visa because he came legally, or was he given this visa after entering the country illegally? This information will come out sooner or later, and what we have learned from similar terrible incidents like this is the longer it is withheld, the worse the rumour mill goes into action.
Well, I do understand the last point that the right honourable gentleman makes, but it's very important in these circumstances to be absolutely sure about the facts before they are released. And the proper vehicle for doing that is the PSNI being in touch with the Home Office, which is what has been happening this morning. As the right honourable gentleman may be aware, the police originally said they believed him to be of one nationality. It may well turn out that he is in fact of another nationality, which does demonstrate the point I'm trying to put to the House, that it is important that the police lead on that, so that the full facts can come out and then they can be made available to the House and to the country.
Of course, the Secretary of State will know the answer to this question.
They don't want to deport him, do they?
Enter the United Kingdom as an illegal migrant stroke asylum seeker.
Well, until I'm in a position, by talking to the...
Fuck you, mate. Go and get the
honourable gentleman's asked me a question, will he do me the courtesy of allowing me to answer it? Until I am in a position to have that confirmed, I cannot confirm it to the House. As soon as I can, I will. But as I've already explained, it is the PSNI that is leading on answering the very legitimate question that he has
Mr. Speaker, the right honourable member for East Belfast described this incident as medieval. It wasn't just medieval, it was pure evil. When we saw what happened on the streets of the United Kingdom. And while tribute has been paid for those members of the general public who stepped in, the emergency services that responded, can I also seek a reassurance from the Secretary of State that those members of the general public who stepped down will actually be recognised and not be persecuted for the actions that they actually took in regards to attacking that individual? And can I also encourage the Secretary of State to come forward and fill the vacuum of information that's out there, because he does know more than I think he is telling the House at this minute in time in regards to this incident.
It was an act of pure evil. I agree with the honourable gentleman in saying that. I'm surprised that he suggests there's any possibility of those who came to the aid of the victim should be at risk of prosecution, because they were trying to save him when judging by the footage, when the attacker was trying to inflict great harm upon him. And my judgment, having looked at that, is what they did was proportionate and fair, but that is for others to judge. It is important that they are recognised, as already indicated the House.
You're going to find the people. They're trying to put in there and blame the people for kicking the guy now. Or try to get the knife on him, which is self-defence, you stupid bastard.
The circulational line of
that's why people are looking at him funny, because it's like, what did he, what was he talking about?
Rightly congratulates the members of the public.
Where did he get muppets from?
Whether it was a hurl bat or a cricketing bat, they took action. But what we need to see now, as tension rises, we need to see government action to restrict and inhibit people arriving in this country illegally, some of which carry out the actions
all I
that we
seen
saw
was
in the
them running
streets of
towards
Belfast.
the person.
Well, the honourable gentleman will be well aware of the action that the government is taking to deal with illegal migration, and I've also made clear to the House the steps we take if anyone, however they came to the country, or whether they are from this country, commits a criminal offence, they will face due process, and any foreign national, regardless of how they came, who abuses our hospitality and commits crimes, can expect to be deported at the end of their sentence.
Go lock up.
At the end of the sentence, deport them
My
now.
thoughts are very much with the victim.
Because you know it won't happen, so why at the end of the sentence, why send them to jail in their own country?
We're calm in our communities. Communities in Northern Ireland are angry. They are demanding answers, and they deserve answers.
And Ireland,
sadly
Scotland
today,
and
I don't
Wales,
feel that they're
and all
getting
over fucking
those
Europe.
answers.
Well,
And it's not lost on the people of North Belfast, who is in this place today speaking up for working class communities who are very concerned about uncontrolled immigration and the fact that many houses now, that mayors won't even tell how many houses they have full of immigrants. My question is, was this individual known to the authorities? How many others from the same country are currently being accommodated in Northern Ireland? How did they enter the UK, and what action this government is taking to prevent abuse of our immigration system, including via the land border within the Republic of Ireland?
Well, I say to the honourable member that the public are right to be angry about what they witnessed in that appalling video and what they have heard about the attack that took place. As I've already indicated to the House, and in some of the questions that she's asked, I will endeavour to come back to her on. Others will be provided in due course once the facts have been checked. It's really important that the facts are checked before information is given to the House, because I don't want to stand here and say one thing and it turns out that is not the case. So checking that thoroughly is a responsibility on me before I inform the House, and that is what I intend to
create terrorists.
Yeah. Richard Tice.
Mr. Speaker, calm is essential after this horrific, brutal attack. We all know that. The Secretary of State has referred to further information coming out as we speak. Will he therefore commit to returning to this House later today, if possible, to update the House on the important information around the suspect and any other information you hear?
I'm very happy to say to the honourable gentleman, I will report to the House in an appropriate form as soon as I am able to do so.
Able to do so.
The attempted murder in Belfast last night was chilling. What has been seen by thousands already across the country cannot be unseen.
Well, it was medieval. Shut them borders now.
The systematic mutilation and attempted slaughter of a citizen of Belfast on our streets. Mr. Speaker, my prayers are with the victim, and I similarly praise the brave man who, with a hurl in his hand, intervened to save his neighbour's life, and this House should praise him too.
No, there wasn't.
Mr. Speaker, what occurred last night will have profound implications for community cohesion in this country.
Not Irish and white or
this
English and
needs to be a time for honesty,
anti-white,
and openness,
anti-racist towards
and
whites
truth.
and English and the Christians, Catholics,
Will he confirm
Jews,
that he and his government recognise that uncontrolled immigration needs to end?
Yeah, because
will he confirm that the government needs to reassure and protect our population who for too long have had their concerns ignored? And knowing that he and the Chief Constable and I share a concern
Epstein and fucking Jimmy
that there
Savile coming
could
for that bastard.
be violence, and express my wish and our collective desire for
they
calm.
are the devils.
That community cohesion lies on the precipice. Will he confirm that the actions last night in no way reflect or represent the values of our nation?
That
the victim belongs in Belfast, but the attacker does not. Having abused the privilege of our nation, the perpetrator living in the UK under a 5-year visa
and then he was getting paid for
and
clothes and everything. I'm getting
on the
fuck
first
off.
flight out on a one-way ticket.
Right away.
Well, I would say to the...
We don't need to put him in a flight. Send him to a jail in another country.
First of all,
they've got jails in other countries.
Many people see is indeed truly horrifying.
Hardcore.
On his last point, as he will be well aware, any foreign
Well, we're paying all this money for him to be here, whatever.
country to commit crime
Pay
should
all
be
the
in no doubt
big fucking
of
paying
our
out for
determination
terrorists
to
put them all in
deport
jails
them.
around the world.
We need to allow the criminal
We're not having
justice
any-
process
No, we don't.
to take place.
Due
On his
process.
question about
Due
net
process,
migration,
what
as you will
about-
know, it is now down
Deport straight
82%
away.
from the peak reached
We are
under
not
the previous
breached, you
government.
breached
But I
already.
would most particularly echo what he has said.
Echo,
in
people's
appealing
lives are in
for
danger.
calm, because we have seen previously
Oh, they're doing it on
Belfast in
purpose.
August 2024.
Yeah, and it's not the
and Ballymena
people's fault, it's your fault, King Charles's fault. And all I'm saying is King Charles's needs his head chopping
when
off.
there is
Chop
disorder
his
on the
head off.
streets, because
Well,
it is the
sorry.
communities
Jihads
suffer,
that they've
it is
created want to
innocent
chop the
people who
Pope's head
suffer,
off. We want to chop
and
King
whose
Charles's
lives
head
can
off.
be put at risk, and that is why all
But yeah, we're all put at risk,
all
so...
political leaders
No.
have such a solemn responsibility
No, they don't.
to urge the calm that I have called for in my
Right,
response
well, we don't
to his
need
question
due process, just deport.
Crystal.
Don't
Thank you,
fucking
Mr.
lies.
Speaker. Can I thank the Secretary of State for
his
They know
statement.
he's an
I
illegal
also
immigrant.
thank
They're just
my,
playing it up
honourable
out
friend,
to create
for asking
because
the
they know about
question.
Henry now, this
As a
and
member of
everything
the
else.
Northern Ireland Select
And they
Committee,
know
I
it's summer and the
visited
kids are
Belfast
coming
on
out of
several
school soon,
occasions,
so they're going to
and was
create this
struck
just
by
for
the
the same
incredible
time they
nature
did
of
as
the
July
community
last year.
spirit and the incredible city.
Yeah, they are.
What we witnessed last night is the
People
worst of
stay
humanity,
calm.
but also the best of humanity.
All stay calm.
I think
Let's
it is
just get to
incredible that
fucking
bystanders
Buckingham
came
Palace.
to
We're
the
getting
aid of
number
that
10.
individual
We're going to
suffering.
boycott number 10 in. We're going to boycott fucking Buckingham Palace in.
Given every resource they need
And
to
they'll have
conduct
no
swift
choice because there'll be millions
investigation
of
and
us.
ensure that all facts are shared
Millions.
with the public. And can we
And
also
we're not
ensure
doing
that
a
those
protest,
brave
we're going
people
straight
who
through
rush
them
to the aid
gates.
of one of our own countrymen is given the honour
what are they going to do? They can't
and
shoot
the
everyone.
reward that they deserve for representing the best of our humanity.
Thursday.
And I'm going as a clown then, it won't be able to
that
see where I
I
am.
know from the conversations I've had with
No
the Chief
face
Constable
recognition
this
off me,
morning,
mate.
that the PSNI are
Right,
treating
got
this,
me
of
face,
course,
fuck
as
it.
the House would expect, with the utmost seriousness and are pursuing their
We're not pursuing
inquiries.
shit,
We
fuck
need
off.
to let the police
We don't need to
investigation
let anything happen,
and in due
mate.
course any criminal justice
We
process
need to ram raid
take its place.
number
I
10.
am in favour of as much information being
We need to
shared
ram raid
as soon as
Buckingham
possible, and I
Palace.
would report to the House, Mr Speaker, that
Get them
the
out
PSNI
ourselves,
will be
the
holding
people
a
out.
press
We're going to
conference
kick
in
this out, mate.
approximately
Well, if
5
you
and a half
don't
minutes
deport, we'll
time to
deport
provide
yous
more information
out
about
of
the
that
incident.
building.
I also join my honourable friend in expressing
Millions
hope